Good morning, everybody, and welcome again to this Friday morning, 31st of July, the last of our series this week on stories behind the songs, as we look at some of the background to a number of Christian songs that have been popular for years now. Much of the artistic expression that happens, meaningful artistic expression, is grounded in the experiences of life. And those experiences might be good, but they might also be bad. In fact, it's often felt that some of the best art comes out of the pain and struggle that the artist experiences. And of course, that is true of poetry as much as any other art form. And hymn writing is exactly that. Hymn writing is poetry, expressing the Christian hymn writing, expressing the Christian's faith, regardless of the circumstances. The circumstances might be that we become aware of the greatness of God and His holiness, and the expression in poetry and in song and the hymn might be that an expression of praise towards Him. It might be thankfulness for what He's done for us. But sometimes there is also an expression of pain, and combining that with the confident faith, assurance that we have in the goodness of God. And that is never more true than in the wonderful hymn that was written in the 1800s by Joseph Scriven. It was written in 1855 as he wrote it as a poem to his mother. He was in Canada and he wrote it as a poem to his mother, who was desperately ill in Ireland. But Joseph Scriven's life was hard, to put it mildly. Born in 1819, educated at Dublin University, at Trinity College, Dublin, and he was engaged to be married. And I mean, it's hard to believe, but on the night before his wedding, the evening before his wedding, his fiancée was drowned. As a result of that trauma, it seemed he turned to the Plymouth Brethren. This caused tension in his family, and because of the tension in his family, he left and he went to Canada, where he devoted himself to teaching and to, quite honestly, doing good works. Eventually, he found another love in his life, and that was a lady by the name of Eliza Roche, and they were engaged to be married. And shortly before their wedding, she died of pneumonia. So this poor man has been through trauma, and it's out of that trauma, and then being aware of his mother being desperately ill in Ireland, that he wrote the poem, which he called Pray Without Ceasing, and which we have come to know as the hymn, What a Friend We Have in Jesus. And that refrain, take it to the Lord in prayer, take it to the Lord in prayer. And if you listen to the song, and I hope you will listen to it before you sign off this morning, and you listen to his expression of the hardship, the pain that he experienced, and that many of you may well have experienced. Yet, take it to the Lord in prayer. He wrote it anonymously, and the authorship was only discovered in the 1880s, shortly before his death in 1886. But his life was hard. His life was very hard. It was filled with pain and sorrow and heartache. And he chose to channel that into serving others. There is talk of him spending his time cutting firewood for the elderly and for the disabled. To make it worse, he later started experiencing serious health issues. He went through great financial difficulties, and then he was heavily depressed. In fact, so much so that it's uncertain as to whether his death was as a result of an accident or of suicide. A friend reported it this way. A friend says, "We left him about midnight. I withdrew to an adjoining room, not to sleep, but to watch and wait. You may imagine my surprise and dismay when, on visiting the room, I found it empty. All search failed to find a trace of the missing man, until a little after noon, the body was discovered in the water nearby, lifeless and cold in death. Joseph Scriven was buried in 1886 next to his second fiancée, Eliza Roche. His lasting legacy is to encourage Christians to, regardless of the hardship that we may face ourselves, remember that we are to pray without ceasing. Take it to the Lord in prayer. Take it to the Lord in prayer. That's his encouragement to all of us. And even as we face the traumas, the difficulties of the current pandemic, as we struggle with our own responses to it and maybe our own circumstances of life, to take it to the Lord in prayer. So I do hope that you will listen to this song and let it resonate with you when you consider the life of its author, Joseph Scriven. And won't you take time out to pray? Say to him, Lord, I trust you as my good Father. And there may be circumstances in my life that I do not understand. But ask him to help you to be faithful, to have faithful confidence in his goodness, regardless of what circumstances you may face. And then finally, as you take time out this morning, won't you memorize, if you haven't done so yet, won't you memorize Romans chapter 8 and verse 28? Romans 8 and verse 28. For we know that in all things, God works together for the good of those who love him, who are called according to his purpose. Make that your time out this morning. But listen to the song. Take it to the Lord in prayer. What a friend we have in Jesus.
And griefs to bear. What a privilege to carry everything to God in prayer. Oh, what peace we often forfeit. Oh, what needless pain we bear. All because we do not carry everything to God in prayer. Oh, have we trials and temptations? Is there trouble anywhere? We should never be discouraged. Take it to the Lord in prayer. Can we find a friend so faithful who will all our sorrow share? Jesus knows our every weakness. To the Lord in prayer. Are we weak and heavy laden, cumbered with a load of care? Precious Savior, still our refuge. Take it to the Lord in prayer. Despise, forsake thee. Take it to the Lord in prayer. In his arms he'll take and shield thee. Thou wilt find a solace there in his arms. Oh, in his arms he'll take and shield thee. Thou wilt find solace there. Oh, thank you, Lord. You are my solace, Jesus. Oh, what a friend we have in Jesus. Sing that out, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, what a friend we have in Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Oh, Jesus. Oh, what a friend we have in Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, what a friend we have in Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, what a friend we have in Jesus.